Hello, I am Tara from livingonadime.com, and today I'm here with my mother, Jill. Hello, Mom.
Hi.
So we are starting our podcasts, and Mom lives in Kansas. I live in Colorado, so when she comes, we do these because it's easier.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We are starting with our grocery savings e-course, our How to Save on Groceries e-course. And
did you want to tell them that you have 4 kids and that I'm single and...
No, not really.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they knew, that you're getting double perspective here of all this
Yes,
stuff. Different
so,
perspectives.
If you guys want to know, the reason why Mom and I do these together is because Mom was a single mom who raised 2 teenagers on $500 a month. I am married with 4 kids and living the quote-unquote middle-class lifestyle. But we're not living the middle-class lifestyle because the middle-class lifestyle is in hock up to their eyeballs with car payments and student loans and credit card debt. And we have none of that. We are completely debt-free. Mom is completely debt-free, 100%. We don't owe nothing to nobody. Mm-hmm. Not one person. And
so what we're going to be teaching, we've actually put into practice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so we know these work.
Yeah.
We know these work. And we've had Living on a Dime for more than 20 years now. And we know it works for other people also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's not just luck.
Mm-mm.
So we're starting with our How to Save on Groceries e-course because this is, I think it's one of our better books. But
I know. I was reading it before we did this and I thought, oh my goodness.
And you can get a link in the description below, but I don't know, I think it's funny because our assistant Heidi, she's like, I wish people would just read the grocery e-course because it just cuts everything down so you can really just get it into your head that this is not hard. It's not rocket science. It doesn't take a lot of time.
Well, we have the cookbook Dining on a Dime, which is great with recipes and tons of tips. We've got hundreds and hundreds of tips in there. But the e-course goes into a lot of detail, a lot more detail than what we put in the book even,
Because it really doesn't have to do with the recipes. I mean, it does. But really, the majority of your grocery savings starts with shopping at the grocery store and how you shop. But what you buy is what...
And what you do with what you buy, not wasting it and things like that.
Yeah, so today we're talking about stop cutting coupons and start savings. This article has been on our website for 20 years. Every year we update it with new prices. And it's interesting because grocery prices are going up for some things, but my grocery bill is not going up.
No.
And Heidi, my assistant, she has 4 kids also, and her grocery bill is not going up. And so you see grocery prices going up, and don't give me no lip, people.
I know what you're going to say.
I know what you're going to say, but they're making the packages smaller and the prices the same. I know that. I take that into account when I say this stuff. So, and we even had one comment, well, of course you save on your groceries because you eat the food that you make on the show. Well, duh. First of all, I'm not going to throw away the food that we make on the show. Yes, it's a business expense for me, but that is included in my $400 a month that I spend for 6 people. Now it is about 4.5 people because my son has moved out. My daughter eats with us half the time. But now I'm spending about $300 to $350 a month. And I'm not being that careful. And so
I have been paying about $20 now for 5 years, $20 a week.
Yep.
And I've been doing that for 5 years. And I know prices are fluctuating, but I've been doing even longer than that. If we have a recession or things, I don't even realize things like that are happening.
Yeah.
Because what I do is I buy just what I need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if things get a little bit tighter, then I cut back in some areas,
Yeah. Okay, so today we're going to talk about coupons and how to stop using coupons, and you're going to actually save more money. Now, in the 20 years that we've been doing this, we have never, ever promoted coupons, ever. Even when the extreme couponing rage was going. I know there are people who can do that, just like our canning friends. We won't go into that little subject there, but the thing is, just because you can do something that saves you money does not necessarily mean it's wise to do it. And it does not necessarily mean it's the most efficient way to do it. Okay? And we're really talking about efficiency because people are busy and they don't have time. And coupons is one of those areas where really it takes a lot of time to do. I know people who have the same grocery budget that I do with coupons, but I don't go to all the work of cutting coupons and all that. Now, I do use coupons about 10 or 15 a year. My store will send me something for free, a free box of Cheerios or $1 off hamburger or whatever, and I'll use those, but I don't clip coupons.
But the other thing I think happens too is when you have like the extreme couponing thing, there's a whole 90% of the people in the world who don't do the extreme couponing, and they feel really overwhelmed, guilty, and the whole gamut because they're not doing couponing, like there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, I'm just going to be blunt here. It's kind of like nursing your baby or bottle feeding your baby. At a time, it was like if you didn't do the one, then you were just a horrible mom. And so all these women were just overwhelmed with guilt and condemnation, and I'm just a horrible mom because I can't do this. And that happened with couponing. And the thing is, people get when they do couponing, not everybody, but a majority get very like
defensive, holier
self-righteous, you know, and that type of thing about what they're doing. And if the whole world isn't doing it and agreeing with them and doing it, then they just pound them to death.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do with the couponing thing is to get people to understand you don't have to do that. There's so many other ways that you can save money on groceries without doing the couponing. And there's going to be, you need to know, it's like putting all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to do that. And with the extreme couponing, that's what a lot of people are doing because that's all the time they have to do is do the coupons. Well, we want to teach people to do many different ways to save. For example, I've been in Idaho and I didn't have coupons there to save very well where I was living in the little tiny grocery store area. Aldi's doesn't take coupons. You know, where I live, where there's an Aldi, there's no coupons. My grocery store stopped doubling the coupons. So it didn't do me a whole lot of good. Then the coupons started having expiration dates, and just I could go on and on of different scenarios of times when couponing wasn't working.
Or for me, when I did try it, I would go to the store and they would be sold out of everything. And I was like, here I did all this work and now they don't even have the product.
And sometimes the coupon's about ready to expire, so you had to do it that day.
Yeah.
And so we're not against couponing by any means, but everything do in moderation. Don't get extreme and hung up on everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. All right, so we're going to tell you how you can save over $10,000 in 1 year by just cutting a few things from your grocery bill. And we've noticed that it's what you're buying at the grocery store, guys. I mean, I'll be honest, I have a judgmental attitude when I go to the grocery store and I see someone with their grocery basket piled with a bunch of fruit snacks, juice boxes, all this stuff, and then they sit there at the checkout line and just say, oh, groceries are just so expensive now. It's like, come on, lady, you're kidding me? So we're going to give you some things that you can cut out, and we're going to show you how they add up.
Wait, before you start, you know why they say that, don't you? They're getting frustrated because the stuff they love, that they enjoy so much, is getting expensive, and they don't want to have to give it up. Mm-hmm. So they get very, very... It's not like they can't buy other types of groceries for less that's just as nutritional and probably even better for them. People don't want to give up their fluff, their nice stuff, and so they get very angry and very frustrated when they have to do that. But go ahead, I didn't mean to...
Just for a little commercial break here, this is all in our How to Save on Groceries e-course. You can get it in the link below. It's a course that you can go through, and it's a e-course, so that means you get the ebooks and the videos that go with it. Mom and I also have additional videos with this, and you can get all of that in the description below. All right, so what are some things you can cut out here? If you cut out one bag of chips at $2.99 a bag once a week, that's $155 a year for one bag of chips a week.
Now, you notice she said one bag.
Not all of them.
No. And all these things, you got to think about this when we say this. Don't say, well, I can't do without my chips. We're not saying get rid of chips. If you buy 3 bags of chips a week, just get rid of one bag, and there's $155 a year. Just by, you still have 2 bags of chips to eat during the week.
Yep. And just by cutting that out, right there is 2 months worth of cell phone payments by just cutting out 1 bag of chips a week. So what do we do instead? I allow my kids to have chips, but what I do is we buy 1 bag of chips a week. When those chips are gone, they're gone. And that means we use them for lunches, everything. So when the chips are gone, I don't run to the store and buy new chips for lunch. We will use something else. What are some other things we will do? I will make them up some peanut butter crackers. We will just leave the chips out.
You could do popcorn.
You could give them popcorn. You could give them anything like granola bars or something like that instead. So you don't necessarily have to have the chips for every single lunch, that kind of thing. Okay, 1 6-pack of soda, $2, which is actually a low price. We're giving you guys the benefit of the doubt here, but 1 6-pack of soda, that's $104 a year. If you just cut one of those out, right there is an electric bill payment for 1 month. And you guys say you can't pay your bills. We're giving you ideas right here.
Get rid of that 1 6-pack of pop.
Yep. If you reduce your meat by $3 a pound, 2 nights a week, that's $468 right there. Okay, so you say, well, I have to eat meat. What in the world can I eat? Guys, you can have meatless meals twice a week. What can you have? You can have spaghetti.
Vegetable soup.
You could do things like a broccoli soup or potato soup or chili with beans instead of hamburger.
Lasagna.
The other thing is make things like chili with hamburger, but use a half a pound instead of a full pound of meat. You don't need a full pound of meat in all of these recipes, especially casseroles and soups and stuff like that.
I never use a full pound of meat if the recipe calls for a full pound in a casserole. Never. I always use half the amount of meat.
Yeah. We always use about a half a pound.
Your families, and you say, well, my family won't like that. No, we have more testimonies of people saying, I did it. My family didn't have any idea that I used half the amount of meat.
Yep. I skipped one. If you reduce a liter of soda, $1, which now those prices are going up, that's $365 a year if you drink a liter of soda a day from the convenience store. Okay, we'll do another thing on convenience stores, but $365, guys, right there is a car payment, which you shouldn't have in the first place. But if you have a car payment, right there is $365. You could put that on your house and get your house paid off by just not picking up one soda at the convenience store.
And I want them to stop and think what you just said. We have so many people that say, we just can't pay off our mortgage. That's impossible. But we hear what she said, 1 liter of soda.
And lots of people stop 2 or 3 times at the convenience store during the day.
Yeah, and you could put that $365 towards your mortgage. That's a huge chunk.
Yeah. All right, gourmet coffee. Wow, we'll do this also, but we're going to leave a link in the description below for you guys to get our free 10 coffee recipes so that you can stop that gourmet coffee at $3.65, which is actually low again. $1,300 a year.
And we're being conservative.
We're being very conservative. I know most people spend upwards of $5,000.
1 coffee a week. What do you realize? If you go 7 times a week or 6 times a week to get coffee, that's just giving up one of those coffees.
Yep.
Can you imagine if you gave up 2? That would be what, $2,600 a year if you gave up 2 coffees a week.
There you could go and put that on there. Well, that's a day. That's a day. But still, I know people who go to the coffee store and get several coffees a day. My daughter worked at a coffee shop, guys. I know this is true because she said the same people kept coming in and coming in. So the next one, dinner. If you cut dinner at $30 for 1 time a week, that's $1,500. If you
go out to eat.
Yeah. If you cut dinner to go out to eat for $40 once a week, that's $2,000. If you cut lunch, $5 a person, which once again is really low. Most people are spending $8 to $10 now. If you do that 20 days a month, that's $1,200, guys. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, almost $5,000 on things that you can just cut out for eating out. I mean, I'm just sitting here It's shaking my head. It's
people
like,
keep saying, how do you live off of the small amount that you live on?
Yeah.
I don't do this, you know.
Yeah.
I cut these things out.
Yeah. And so what do we do instead? My family, after church on Sunday, we go to Wendy's and get a dollar menu. We spend $11 for 4 of us, which I think is a little expensive, but that's our treat. But we are completely debt free. And so we do that, and then Mike and I will go on a date about 2 or 3 times a month, and we will split a dinner somewhere. And that's about all the eating out we do. Pizza delivered, $20 once a week, $1,000. I know that price is half of what most people spend because my son was a pizza delivery guy for a while, and he said most people spent around $40. That is over $2,000 a year if you just cut out one pizza. Just one. Guys, with just these first savings, you could have your car loan paid off.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, okay.
You could buy a new car.
You can get a new car. This is how we pay cash for our cars because we don't have car payments. If you can afford the payment, you can afford to save up for it. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you can afford the payment, you can afford to save up, and this is how you save up. 1 cup of juice per person for a family of 4. If you cut out 1 cup of juice 1 time a week for a family of 4, that's over $500.
And to put this in perspective, I know everybody says, well, they need the juice because it's healthy. I can hear everybody saying that. They don't need 5 glasses of juice a day. No. And they don't even need the juice because they can get the same vitamins in a piece of fruit.
And it was funny because
it's cheaper.
I showed my grocery haul the other day, and this lady's like, well, you don't have anything to drink in your grocery haul except for 1 gallon of milk. Well, first of all, we don't even drink the gallon of milk. They can drink water.
Yeah.
They don't need to drink milk. They don't need to drink juice. They don't need to drink soda. They don't need to drink any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for it. So the fruit snacks, $2.50 or $2.50 if you cut that out once a week. That's $130 a month, guys. Right there.
A year.
A year. $130 a year. That's once again 2 more cell phone payments. Right there. 1 box of granola, $4. $1 if you cut out 1 a week at $208 a year. Guys, we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful homemade granola in our Dining on a Dime cookbook. Pretty easy. It looks like it has a lot of ingredients, but you don't have to put all of those in there. We just put those ingredients in because people like,
you can pick and choose what give you a variety of what you want to put in.
You can leave all of that out. This granola can be made for the $4 box of granola that you get at the store, you can make it for about 1/4 to 50 cents at home, depending on what you add to your granola.
And that's in the cookbook, right?
Yeah. So that's in our Dining on a Dime cookbook, which you can get in the description below. 1 snack cake, you know the little snack cakes everybody puts in lunches, $1.25. If you cut out 1 of those a day, that's $456 a year.
Translated into you could send a couple of cookies instead of a snack cake once a week. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the week you can send snack cakes.
Yeah. And $10,000 is what we have on our grocery e-course, but what we gave you added up to about $12,000 to $15,000 a year, guys. $12,000 to $15,000 a year. Just think about it. Just cutting out these 10 things, that is a really nice, newer to you used car. We're talking only a few years old. Nice new car. That is equal to what Mike and I spend on 3 cars because we spend about $3,000 to $3,500. So, guys, these are super, super simple tips, and it's not hard at all, and it doesn't take any time.
But it's not even just the new cars. It's like people say, well, I don't have money to buy my kids' school clothes. I don't have money to get, what? I can't think off the top of my head.
Or complain about the price of groceries, or I can't pay my car payment.
You could use that money for all those things, all that stuff.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, please check us out at livingonadime.com. Please go to the description below and you can get a link to this article on our website. You can also get a link to our How to Save on Groceries e-course and our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We will talk to you guys next time.